take us to the beginning in terms of what's your story. I heard you mentioning about getting inspiration during your school days in one of our early meetings and all, right? So start from there, and what inspired you to start this GWD Global Private Limited at such a young age?
When I was in fourth class, I always was inspired by seeing the business leaders, I believe. So the CEOs, the title CEO was something very important for me from back then. And I'm living that title right now. So it was always like getting into a system, building a system. When you place a bid, there are 100 more people placing behind you.
Right.
And you can't be the right person the client is going to choose you.
Yeah.
I thought a marketplace concept is not working out. I thought of building my own company, GWD Global Private Limited, which is a freelancing platform. Now, instead of reaching out as a freelancer, when I'm reaching out as a company, that is where I play more credible.
Talking about the startup founders, again, they always have a choice between hiring freelancers for agility versus partnering with a dedicated tech company for reliability. But it comes with a cost. So what will be your honest advice?
My honest advice for startups will be come to GWD. I'm not trying to market here. The kind of ecosystem we're building is highly encouraged for startups, because the freelancers we take in, they are going to work under a project management, right? So the way the startup propose their ideas, the vision they have, with our expertise, we are going to definitely give them the deliverable.
Talk to me about your success mantra, as in top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
First thing is my faith in God. That is something which is pushing me every time. And secondly, I'd like to mention my discipline towards my work. If you're sick, if you're tired, it doesn't matter. You have to be disciplined. Motivation doesn't work out. It is just a factor of maybe a 1 day or 2 days.
Right.
But discipline is something beyond motivation. You're dedicated, you have to come up, you have to show up, you have to be the first person to wake up and the last person to sleep. Apart from discipline, I also follow this thought actually, which is given by Shah Rukh Khan, Aram, Haram.
So folks, you have tuned into TGV, and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording, and we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak, and here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future, and we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. I'm your host Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. All right, so folks, we are joined by a young entrepreneur who is studying engineering 3rd year. However, he is doing a lot of great things, so much of inspiration, so much of motivation that we get every time I interact with him. So he's none other than Mohd Abdul Rahman Pasha. And to share a bit about his background, he is the founder and CEO of GWD Global Private Limited, and GWD stands for Get Work Done. And this is a rapidly growing tech solutions company helping startups, enterprises, and freelancers thrive in today's competitive digital landscape. And with a passion for innovation and empowering young talent, Rahman is on a mission to bridge the gap between education and industry while transforming how businesses leverage technology. So, Rahman, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing, sir. Thank you for inviting me today.
Pleasure to have you. And first things first, why should somebody tune into a conversation and spend their valuable 30-35 minutes?
For the audience, I believe if they are a running startup, if they are a freelancer or a businessman, running businessman, right, they should join this conversation to enjoy my perspective behind this entrepreneurship journey and even learn from this.
Excellent. So I'm looking forward to it. So folks, from freelancers to future-ready techies, Mohd Abdul Rahman Pasha's GWD Global Journey. Again, I'm repeating, GWD stands for Get Work Done. So Rahman, before we get started, here is an exciting twist as always. Let us get into a rapid fire round. You know the format, right? How it works and all. So I'm going to ask you a few crazy questions, and you need to respond as quickly as possible without thinking much. If you're ready, let's get started.
Let's get the ball rolling.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
All right, superb. So my first question is early bird or a night owl?
I think I'm an early bird, but depends on the situation. I can even become a night owl.
I'm the other way around. I'm a night owl.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a dynamic person.
Great. So code or strategy?
I think coding is what I can do, but before code, you need to build up a strategy. So, strategy.
And one tech trend you're betting huge on?
It should be quantum computing.
Excellent. And your first hire at GWD, is it a coder or marketer or a designer?
It should be a marketer, because if you can't sell yourself, it's not worth it.
You nailed it. And then artificial intelligence, do you think it is a friend or a foe?
For a company's perspective, it is a friend, because a lot of efficiency, right? But for an employee or a software developer, it can be a foe if they're not using it properly.
Okay. A book that changed your life?
I think it won't be a book. It should be a movie. I can tell. It can be like Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, 3 Idiots. These are something which have affected my mindset and the journey I'm taking on.
Great. I watched 3 Idiots, but not the other two. I think it's time for me to add them to my...
They're directed by Christopher Nolan. Definitely, you should watch them.
Definitely. All right. So moving on, biggest guilty pleasure after a long day?
Well, I'm very particular about my diet. So I think having a shawarma after a long day will be my something guilty pleasure.
Okay. And shawarma with bread or a wrap?
A wrap.
Okay. Excellent. And here comes the last question from the first rapid fire round. One word that your team describes you?
I think they call me, they call anything like it should be passionate. What they call me.
Yeah.
I'm passionate.
Yeah, I see tons of passion in you, and you have been doing amazing. And I'm glad that our paths have crossed, and you have been a great contributor to the Guiding Voice platform as well. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively. And right, there is one more rapid fire round towards the end of the episode, so stay tuned.
Of course.
All right, so first things first, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice, and thank you so much for being part of our journey. And
thank you so much for inviting me as well.
Pleasure to have you. And let's get started with the mainstream questions, Rahman. I'm curious to understand, who is your guiding voice?
So speaking of guiding voice, I think it's my firm faith in God. So that is something like something comes in my mind, and for executing it, I should have that firm faith to believe in me, to like execute it in the right way, right? So that is what I can call a guiding voice for myself.
Excellent. And take us to the beginning in terms of what's your story. I heard you mentioning about getting inspiration during your school days in one of our early meetings and all. Right. So start from there, and what inspired you to start this GWD Global Private Limited at such a young age?
Amazing question. So I think I love this part where when I was in 4th class, I always was inspired by seeing the market leaders, the business leaders, I believe. So that CEOs, the title CEO was something very important for me from back then. And I'm living that title right now. So it was always like getting into a system, building a system. And when I came to my 8th, 9th class, that is somewhere I analyzed ki, yeah, I'm into computer science. I'm that kind of guy who is into coding, who is into strategy, who is into designing all this stuff, the software part. So it was my computer side, I believe. He pushed me in the direction of freelancing. He told me about the platforms, the existing platform, freelancer.com, Upwork, Fiverr. So back then I learned HTML, CSS, a little bit of that in the 8th class, and I tried approaching clients on freelancer.com, right? So back then it was a very competitive market. Even then it was like, I think 2019 or 2018, and the competitive nature, it was evolving rapidly. By the time I came on in my 10th class, right, it was my something that instead of playing games, I was about designing games.
Wow.
That I'll be a game developer. And I successfully deployed a game on Google Play Store when I was in my 10th. So that is where my software journey even clicked, right? Then in the intermediate, I was still chasing for clients. I was still chasing for clients, for getting more leads, for getting more projects with my skill about game development. But then by the time I came in my into second year, it was not happening. Yeah. And I thought, why not just build a gaming company? So before GWD, it was my gaming company, RP Games. I've developed
Rahman
3D.
Pasha games?
Yeah, Rahman Pasha Games. So yeah, it was RP Games which developed a 3D car simulator.
Okay.
Right. By that time, GTA 5 was a very trending game, and I thought people are interested about the simulation part. Why not build a 3D car racing game? So I understood all the physics, the Unity engine, C Sharp, the coding language. So that was my first startup, I believe. But then it didn't work out. It was like a project. I spent around 3 to 4 months, day and night, 10 hours every day. It was 10 hours every day. Yeah. So I just spent my time building it, but I didn't understand the market. Yeah. It was the market which I was unable to tap the game into. I had to leave my game development journey. Then I joined my engineering first year. And that was the turning point when I thought the freelancing part, the client part, the market part is important. And the competitive journey, which is existing, that has to be changed. Because a lot of, when you place a bid, there are 100 more people placing behind you.
Right.
And you can't be the right person the client is going to choose you.
Yeah.
I thought a marketplace concept is not working out. I thought of building my own company, GWD Global Private Limited, which is a freelancing platform. Now, instead of reaching out as a freelancer, when I'm reaching out as a company, that is where I play more credible.
Right.
And companies trust me. The credibility, the accountability which I take with my freelancing team. So that is how it all started. And I'm here 2 years running this company.
Now I get it why you mentioned strategy over code, right?
Definitely.
Excellent. And while people of your age are gaming, you wanted to develop a gaming company, right? So that is so fascinating. And I'm really proud of your accomplishments. And I am sure you're going to go places and you'll be called again and again to this platform to inspire the audience. And
Thank you so much, sir.
And let's move on. 2 years ago, this GWD came into existence and all. What was your vision at that time? And has it evolved in the last 2 years?
So the vision was not so clear. It was December of 2023 when this thought came up that I should build a freelancing company. I discussed with my friends and they were like, Arey, why would you do this? Discord exists, freelancer.com exists. What are you trying to do? Why would you do this which already exists? But the freelancing market, I saw it evolving. People are chasing the students, the freelancer, the working professional. They want the side hustle to be done. So I thought this is a market where I can tap into regardless of what I'm doing. So I experimented. Initially, how it evolved is it was still a marketplace. I was placing it as a marketplace, like any existing platform. But then, the USP factor didn't come up. I'm just making, let's say, commission between just mediating. That is not something happening. Then, by the time it became more than just an agency, the evolvement factor was an agency factor.
Right.
To make a GWD Global Private Limited as an powerhouse of multiple freelancers. We have currently over 500 plus freelancers in multiple domains.
That's
web
amazing.
Development.
In the span of 2 years.
Yeah, in the span of 2 years. And we are actively growing community. We are building more. We are taking in more freelancers, right? In multiple domains, web development, app development, gaming, game development, 3D animation, video editing, all the digital marketing services. So it's evolving.
All right. So that brings me to my next question. For those people who are not aware of GWD, talk to us about the kind of services that you are offering.
Well, at GWD Global Private Limited, this is a place for a startup or a enterprise business to come up and give their projects to us. And we take the accountability with the affordability factor, and working with freelancers. Since we develop the architecture, we do the project management. So we take the accountability. That is the main USP in this company. So we are running multiple projects in worldwide, right? And we are in UAE, we are in Qatar, United Kingdom. So we have also reached out in these many countries, and we have 60 plus clients globally. So this is GWD for the company side, and for freelancers, it'll definitely their path to come join us, to work with us, to experience the project, to experience the industry, and bridge the gap between the academia and the industry.
No, excellent. I think for those of you who are looking for internship opportunities, also you can reach out to Rahman. I'm sure he would be an amazing mentor because I know him personally for last 1 year, and I'm seeing him grow exponentially. Because people at this age group, they're very much confused, but I could see a lot of clarity in your thought and the way you wanted to groom yourself and the way you want to evolve, right? That is quite amazing. And that brings me to my next question. Talk to me about your success mantra, as in top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
Well, yeah, this is clear. First thing is my faith in God. That is something which is pushing me every time. And secondly, I'd like to mention my discipline towards my work. The discipline, the consistency. If you're sick, if you're tired, it doesn't matter. You have to be disciplined. Motivation doesn't work out. It is just a factor of maybe a 1 day or 2 day. But discipline is something beyond motivation. You're dedicated. You have to come up. You have to show up. You have to be the first person to wake up and the last person to sleep. The first, the last person to get paid again. Yeah, that is called discipline
Yeah.
in my terms.
Yeah.
And that is the second factor. And but apart from discipline, I also follow this thought actually, which is given by Shah Rukh Khan. Aram haram hai. Aram haram hai in the sense it's not worth, resting in this age, in this young age, right? So that is something I believe. Aram haram hai. And the third part is my people, the people I met, and my family. Firstly, the supportive nature of my family and the people. Firstly, I'd like to mention my co-founder, Mohd Abdul Madabbir. He's the marketing genius. He's the financial guy. He joined me in this company, and then my administrative team. I'd like to mention few of them. It's Moin, Afnan, Oliver, Akhil, Aisha, Alia. So these guys, they're actively working with me, and I really love their support and their consistency towards this company, the vision I had, and they're following it.
Kudos, guys. I think you guys got mentioned here, which is amazing. And I could see a true leader in you, Rahman. And most importantly, one thing that actually ticked me is as a founder, you'll be the one who gets paid last. I think this has to be remembered by everyone who is aspiring to make big, right? Especially in the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, because people think entrepreneur is something crazy. You just travel places, do all this, do all that. But the first 5 years is important. You're the person who's getting lastly paid. You're the person who is always stressed, who need to take care of the architecture you're building, right? So there's a lot going on. It's not the fancy journey which they show on Instagram and everything.
This is the real truth bomb. This is the real truth bomb. And thanks for sharing that. And talk to us about major challenges that you have encountered, because startup journey is not rosy as it seems outside. People think of, okay, these guys keep on traveling, meet all big shots of the industry, so on and so forth. But there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. So talk to us about one major challenge that you came across and how did you overcome that?
No, again, as a company, a freelancing company. So getting a client on board was the main point, right? So initially we planned to like showcase our services, just our services. Yeah, we serve this, we serve that, we are going to do this for you, we're going to do that for you. But that is not people are going to like find the credibility in you. So what we have changed in ourselves in the struggle journey is like we found out people. I would like to mention my developers as well now. It is Ashish Gautam, it is Ritvik. So these guys, they were available with me, and even myself, I'm a developer. So I have found out multiple different projects with them, right? Multiple projects we have worked on, multiple projects which we can showcase. And apart from this, I've met my 3D animation guys, my video editors, Satvik, and I'd like to mention Yuvraj, Anish. So these guys, they were with me, and lot of portfolio were built up. I found more and more people in the journey. I found more and more portfolio which I can showcase people, and that is where the credibility factor plays in. So when you have something to show, when you can sell yourself by showing something, that is where the things turn. The client and the company, whoever is your, who is going to provide you with the project, is going to trust you, and that's where GWD has built up.
Superb, superb. And you have been breathing in technology for last 5 to 6 years and all. And probably you might be the appropriate person to answer this question. So from your perspective, how is technology transforming industries like education, healthcare, and maybe fintech?
I'd say in education, AI revolution has played a huge role because the way people are learning now is practical. Because they can answer in ChatGPT, Gemini, and they can get any answers, and they're being more practical now.
Right.
Because ChatGPT is a free mentor; it can do anything for you. It can do any kind of research for you. Any kind of knowledge can be acquired from ChatGPT and the AI tools, whatever you're using. And I think in healthcare, the evolving nature of AI, it is proving, it is making a turning point where the evaluation, I believe it is called evaluation is being changed dramatically. the way diagnoses are done, the way healthcare research, the medicines, the drugs which are being produced with this kind of research, including AI, right? That is something like a turning point for the healthcare industry. And of course, fintech is becoming faster, reliable, transparent. So, yeah, this is about the revolution which AI is bringing.
It makes sense. And talking about the freelancers, right? Many businesses are relying on freelancers, especially for tech projects and in those initial stages and all, wherein they cannot afford to pay salaries on regular basis and all. So, from your experience, what are the major challenges companies face when working with freelancers?
Now, it's about accountability. The main factor is accountability and the context. If you are giving me a project, sir, it's about like I need to do it on a contract basis. If I take that project on a contract basis, and if I was unable to do it on timeline, that is where the company loses their money, their efforts, their reputation. And if it is not a proper project, if it is not well designed, the architecture, if it is not well understood by a freelancer or the remote worker, that is where the company gets, again, that is their pain point, right? So accountability is the major factor which we are proving with GWD. Taking in that context, if you were to give me a project today and come back to 2 to 3 years later, we'll still have that context to work with you to even scale it up. So that is why freelancers are being they're not getting the main factor, get into enterprise level projects. So this is what the struggle I believe, and that is how I thought and started implementing in GWD.
Right. It makes sense. And talking about the startup founders, again, they always have a choice between hiring freelancers for agility versus partnering with a dedicated tech company for reliability. But it comes with a cost. So, what will be your honest advice?
My honest advice for startups
Mhm.
will be come to GWD. The kind of ecosystem we're building is highly encouraged for startups, because the freelancers we take in, they are going to work under a project management, right? So the way the startup propose their ideas, the vision they have, with our expertise, we are going to definitely give them the deliverable. And apart from being like a partnering an agency, if they want to work with a freelancer, make them their co-founder. Their technical partner is really important if it is a tech-based product. So make them a co-founder. That is my advice.
It makes sense actually. Recently, I came across another startup, and again, it is comprising of two people only, one techie and one marketeer and all. So that is how they got associated. And when you are especially looking for talent, right? If you really find it worthy, make them co-founder, as Rahman has wisely said.
100%.
That's a great advice. And let's move ahead. So, how do you see this artificial intelligence and automation impacting the future of tech services and the opportunities that it creates for the young talent?
Now, people are really getting scared with AI. The employees, the layoffs which are happening, which we are seeing every day, that is like heavily being judged. But it's not the factor that AI is playing in the layoffs. So I'd say AI is something which is improving the efficiency. For a company, when an efficient employee is there who can do a task in fraction of seconds, like ChatGPT does in the coding part, that is like crazy. But that is the efficiency factor which AI is helping us with. If we can utilize that efficiency factor and build upon ourselves in the architecture level, in the management level, that is where people are highly going to be valued. Who learns AI, who can do things incredibly like in a scale up format with AI.
And I know you're really passionate about building opportunities and also connecting them with students as well as freshers and all. So, how is your company supporting young professionals and bridging the gap between academia and industry?
Definitely. I would say like people come and approach me and they share their ideas. So, I've been into business. I won't call myself anything crazy person, but from experience, the struggles I have faced, I provide them with the roadmap. I provide them with a roadmap which they can act upon, the way they have to chase their dream, right? If, when our startups are there, students are there, they don't take action. That is a very important point which has to be noted down. If you don't you don't take an action on your idea, that is where you're going to fall back. Everything starts with a step, one step, each every day. will be taking you places. I'm not
So
I'm not trying
that
to
way
market
GWD
GWD as a technical partner for startups. We have been mentoring many startups in that way. We provide them roadmaps, we provide them strategies, their financial projections. We help startups in this way. In our college also, we have done many things.
Rahman, for students and freelancers who have tuned into this podcast, right? What do you think they should focus on to stay relevant and trusted in this rapidly evolving tech ecosystem?
No, for students and freelancers, I believe they need to build up on their skills. Include AI in everyday task, build up on their skills, and try to make your portfolio so good enough that the industry chases you. So it's not like the job market is crazy. It's about your portfolio which you need to build up, which you need to be crazy about, which you need to have passion about. So that is what I would like to advise the freelancers or the students.
Spot on. And this has been amazing conversation. And it's time for us to add some more spice and excitement to the episode, which means it brings us to the second rapid fire round. If you're ready, let's get started.
Definitely.
My standard question: if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
To say get work done.
Love it. And describe yourself in just one word.
I'm a visionary.
And one word to describe yourself as a founder.
Visionary.
Okay. And then a tech tool that you can't live without.
Tech tool that should be ChatGPT as of now.
As of now, okay. And the biggest risk that you have ever taken with GWD?
Taking my partner, Mohd Abdul. Because the bet I have placed it on was spot on and it worked out.
Excellent. And if not tech, which other industry would you choose to disrupt?
Real estate.
Spot on, man. You have answers for everything. Yeah. And one life lesson that you have learned hard way as an entrepreneur.
The ways I'm doing trial and error in my journey, that is something the hard struggle, which I would call, because every time I was not right. People have been giving me validations for every step I take.
Right.
And it need not be a good thing, what I was doing. I kept on evolving myself. But, if a new startup comes up to me, I'll straight provide them a good roadmap. The mistakes I have done shall be avoided and that should be, efficient for their journey. So this is what I believe.
Makes absolute sense. And your favorite productivity hack in just one line?
Should be building prototypes.
One book, movie or podcast that shaped your mindset?
Well, I'd say it is a podcast by Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a controversial person, but I believe the kind of things he talk about system, discipline, consistency, that is the part I love about him. And that has been giving a shift in mindset of people, including me.
Superb. If you had unlimited funding tomorrow, what is the first bold move you would make?
I'd be investing into quantum computers heavily. Because that is going to change the world. The classical computer that exists today will be nowhere of use if that comes into existence.
Superb. And here comes the last one for the second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
Should be a teleporting machine. A teleportation device.
Where would you go first?
I'd love to go on moon.
Yeah. Hopefully we might see a teleportation device in our lifetime. You never know. But teleportation device and time machine are the standard answer that I get.
But that has something to do with quantum computing, quantum physics, quantum mechanics.
Yeah, there are many tech enablers which are going to contribute to that. But really curious about what future is going to look like in next 5 to 10 years.
100%.
So after that amazing second rapid fire, let's flip back to the mainstream. So Rahman, what is the larger mission of your company GWD? And beyond just delivering projects, what kind of long-term impact do you want to create?
The long-term impact I've planned as of now, in the coming 5 years from now, will be heavily on building products, SaaS products from my company. We have been working on some products and we'll be launching them soon. And apart from that, events which we're planning to empower students, freelancers. So I would like to mention 2 events which are planning very soon. One is Behind the Bill. That is like India's Got Talent for freelancers, innovators. It is going to be a stage where a platform where an innovation can be shown by a freelancer or a team. And it will be having a live voting system where people can actually validate them. And I'm coming up with a freelancing fest where it's going to be a fest of freelancers where, the visionary leaders, business leaders, agency owners, everybody will join in, validate them and take them up. That is some kind of platforms which I'm planning for enabling these kind of innovators and giving them a stage.
Excellent. Good luck with that. And Rahman, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation and it is really inspiring. And how is your experience being hosted on The Guiding Voice?
Pleasure talking to you, sir. It felt very natural, I'll be honest.
Okay, great.
I was kind of nervous in the beginning, but then the way your questions came up, it is all natural now.
So that is the beauty of The Guiding Voice. I think we have more than 80% of the guests. For them, it is a very first podcast experience, be it real or virtual. Thank you once again and looking forward to hosting you again in future. And I wish you and the entire team at GWD all the best in everything that you do. More power
100%,
to
sir.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, folks, that was our episode with Mohd Abdul Rahman, founder and CEO of Get Work Done Global. All right. So, before we move into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, you know what to do. Please share with at least 3 of your friends, or colleagues, or family members who would also like TGV. So, let us learn together and let us grow in this journey together. Thank you so much in advance. Now, it's time for us to cruise into the trivia segment. So, having an amazing conversation with Mohd Abdul Rahman Pasha, who had his seeds of startup idea planted during his school, I thought of presenting you few facts related to startup founders who have started really, really early. And the first person that comes in the list is Mark Zuckerberg. I know most of you are aware of who is Mark Zuckerberg. He's the founder of Facebook. And Mark built his first messaging platform called Zucknet at age 12.
Wow.
And so his dad, who is a dentist, could communicate with the family from his clinic. That was the intent. And that little experiment eventually shaped Facebook. Second fact is about Mr. Elon Musk, the guy behind Tesla, SpaceX, and all the amazing stuff. So back in 1984, a 12-year-old Elon coded and sold a video game called Blaster to a magazine for $500. And you know the game's theme? Spaceships battling aliens. And it sounds like SpaceX was destined, isn't it? And the next one is Larry Page and Sergey Brin. So you know who are they? They're the founders of Google. So when Larry and Sergey first created Google, they wanted to name it Backrub. So because their algorithm analyzed backlinks on the web, and imagine saying, let me backrub it instead of Google it, right? It would be very fascinating. And the last one in the list is Mr. Bill Gates, who is the founder of Microsoft. At 17, Bill Gates hacked into his high school's scheduling system, not to cause trouble, but to put himself in classes full of girls. And a few years later, he founded Microsoft, and that changed the tech forever. So these are interesting trivia nuggets about founders who started early. Likewise, if you know any founder who has started early and who has disrupted the tech industry, do let me know. Or else you can tell me about your favorite tech founder or any startup founder who has inspired you. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there. Or if you found it on social media platforms or Spotify, you can comment there as well. So folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.